I'm Andrew Bedlam, and he's $4 Sean. We are looking at the best punk albums of all time. Today, we have our sights set on Johnny Thunders and the Heartbreakers, L.A.M.F. Johnny Thunders was born July 15th, 1952, with the name John Anthony Genzale. He died April 23rd, 1991, to suspicious circumstances. Now, we don't have enough time to get into those circumstances in this video, but if that's something you'd like to see on this channel, be sure to comment it in this video. Also, while you're there, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps us out.
Sadly, Johnny Thunders was known more for being a junkie rock star rather than an artist or a musician. The focus of this video is going to be on his art rather than his long-standing drug history.
Johnny Thunders would gain his first bit of notoriety from proto-punk glam band New York Dolls in 1971. Although the band would never make it big during their initial conception, they would go on as New York legends and punk icons throughout the world.
In typical punk rock fashion, the New York Dolls were set to implode from the start. According to punk godfather Dee Dee Ramone, the band did not prepare the way most bands did at the time. Instead of coming up with a set list or rehearsing, the band would scheme up enough money to get all the members high before performing. And then we confirmed that the drug dealer would be at that show to make sure that there was enough drugs for the band to party the whole night through.
Due to constant infighting among the Dolls members, and also due to the fact that Malcolm McLaurin, would-be Sex Pistols producer, was starting to seize control of the band, and that's why Johnny Thunders and Jerry Nolan decided to part ways with the Dolls in 1976.
Even though Johnny Thunders and the Heartbreakers would only release one full-length album, that album cemented 4 kids from New York as punk icons.
Initially recruited for Heartbreakers bassist was Richard Hell, later to go on and start the Voidoids. Now, it seems that Thunders and Hell's egos couldn't really fit on the same stage, and that led to Hell's early departure of the band.
It was then that Billy Rath joined the band, and before his run with the Heartbreakers, he was actually best known as being a male escort to well-to-do New York City housewives.
Oh, yeah. Now, to fill out the band's sound, Thunders knew he needed a second guitarist. In walks Walter Lure. Now, in my opinion, Walter Lure is a bit of an unsung hero for the Heartbreakers. You know, he sings half the songs on L.A.M.F. I mean, he clearly has a much stronger voice than Thunders, and I'd be the first one to tell you that one of the most standout features of L.A.M.F. is not necessarily what Johnny Thunders is playing, but how. Nonetheless, that shouldn't take away from any of the tones coming out of Walter's amp. I feel like he played a lot of the lines, and Johnny Thunders gets all the credit, similar to how he outshined Sylvain earlier in his career with the Dolls, even though ironically Sylvain was the one who taught Thunders how to play.
It was with these 4 that the legendary L.A.M.F. record was recorded, featuring such classic songs as Born to Lose, Chinese Rocks, Answer the Phone, All by Myself, and I Want to Be Loved.
However, similar to the rest of Thunders' life, the recording process, mostly the mixing aspect of this album, would not be easy. Now, the original masters were lost, and they were re-recorded, they were remixed, they were lost again, and I feel like all that really put a damper on the release of the album, and even worse so, the general tone of the record. And it's because of these reasons that the album really didn't do much commercially, but that lack of success would only further the band's underground notoriety.
Even though the band was short-lived, the 4 remained friends and did many reunion shows after the band's initial breakup.
With the other 3 dying early deaths, Walter Lure would be the member that kept the Heartbreakers torch burning, celebrating the anniversary of L.A.M.F. many times over, with a very notable performance coming with the band's 40th anniversary show, featuring Clem Burke of Blondie on drums, Glenn Matlock of the Sex Pistols on bass, and Mike Ness of Social Distortion filling in for Johnny Thunders. those 2017 anniversary shows would be some of Walter Lohr's final, coming just before his death. I'm Andrew Bedlam from Pogo City Radio. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, remember to hit like and subscribe. And also be sure to click over and check out our podcast. It can be found on iTunes and Spotify. Just type in Pogo City Radio. Also, you can find all 600 and some odd episodes available at pogocity.com. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a share. Thanks.